conveniently located 1 mile east of St. Vincent's Hospital on the corner of Southwest Barnes and Miller Road. Be sure to like us on Facebook to be eligible to win 4 tickets to upcoming games. Contact us today at westhillsvision.com. That's westhillsvision.com. Go Thorns! Better is a lower cholesterol number and a greater number of morning hugs. It's 30 minutes on the elliptical today and 30 minutes of snooze on the alarm tomorrow. Better is broccoli with dinner and a banana split on your birthday. Better is what makes you feel good and what opens your eyes to the possibilities. Let's build a healthier community together. Join forces with Providence Health Plan, the Thorns, and the Timbers as we make better health a priority. Imagine your life for the better. ProvidenceHealthPlan.com. Today's match is presented by Nike. Thanks to all our McDonald's Dream Team participants. All right, fans, let's meet the starting 11 presented by Tire Factory. First, for the Chicago Red Stars. Starting at goal, number 1, Pregame. On defense, number 6, Abby Ursic. Number 11, Rachel Kwan. Number 8, Julie Johnston. Number 14, Taryn Hemmings. Number 10, Vanessa DiBernardo. Number 15, Emily Van Egmond. Number 17, Lori Jalopny. Number 19, Adrienne Leon. And forward, number 23, Kristen Press. And number 2, Jen Hoy. Available substitutes for the Red Stars today. Number 20, Taylor Vansel. Number 3, Keisha Morway. Number 4, Alyssa Moss. Number 5, Zakaya Bywaters. Number 9, Melissa Tancredi. And number 38, Julianne Sitch. And now, here's the starting 11 for the Portland Thorns FC. Starting at goal, number 1, on defense, number 19, Sarah Huckman. Number 7, Nikki Marshall. Number 16, Rachel Van Holman. Number 4, Steph Catley. At midfield, number 17.
Sinclair, a beautiful ball. Morgan, one weave on.
There you go.
There it is. Alex Morgan with the goal. And everybody here is going nuts.
Quickly played in.
Sinclair, yes.
Christine Sinclair. Tobin Heath with a drive and she scores. And that just might seal the first National Women's Soccer League title.
Game day at Providence Park, and oh, it is a dandy. The Portland Thorns hosting Chicago in a holiday matinee matchup. Both clubs with identical records, both with identical points in the league, and both making that playoff push. Good morning, everybody. Ann Schatz, joined by my broadcast partner. This is Janine Sparrow. She's filling in for Marion Doherty. Know this about this gal, former U.S. national team standout, and also the head coach of the Portland Reign of the WPSL. All right, let's talk about the fact that Tobin Heath is back in the mix with this Portland bunch. How much of a difference right away can Tobin Heath make with this club?
She can make an impact as soon as she steps into the locker room and then onto the field. It's all on her. She's done it before on the national team, the professional level. She's always good to go, always ready to give whatever she can on both sides.
You look at her style of play, complemented by Vero, also in the midfield. Can these two magicians coexist for the Thorns?
Definitely. These guys have a little bit different things to offer.
Okay.
Vero's a little bit more mobile, can get around the field a little bit more, and Tobin likes to be a little bit outside. She likes to go up to the outside, combine with people, and then get in from there. So together, it just gives us more things to deal with for them, and we can really attack them well.
All right, so Janine, you have played on the highest level, coached on the highest level. Paul Riley for the Thorns talks about a sense of urgency, getting a fast start. What does a fast start mean to you?
A fast start to me means going and attacking the goal in the first minute. Let's put those guys on their heels so that they don't have a chance to even breathe from the beginning, and they come up asking what hit them. That's what I want to see.
So in other words, an absolute sense of urgency from the get-go.
Correct. You just want to get the ball, whether you start with it or without it. If you don't have it, you win it. If you have it, you go forward, and you get a credible chance on goal. It's going to be either a goal or something that's a near miss in the first minute of the game.
Oh, I love the way you're thinking. All right, that sounds good to me. We are just minutes away from kickoff. The Chicago Red Stars in town to take on the Portland Thorns, the first of 3 games between these two clubs, both making a playoff push. We have got opening lineups. We have got kickoff from Providence Park on this gorgeous July 4th day. Stick around. We'll be right back with the game starting kickoff.
What does one serve the best basketball player in the world? The new Bacon Clubhouse sandwich, of course. 100% pure beef or chicken on a new artisan roll, all with our famous Big Mac special sauce. There's something for everyone to love at McDonald's.
You should serve it to everyone.
Hey sports fans, do you want to get in shape? Text LA Fitness to 50500 for a complimentary guest pass to your local LA Fitness. That's LA Fitness to 50500. Exercise your options.
Alaska Airlines invites you to explore more flora and fauna. Explore more hot spots or more cold ones. Explore more holes in the wall. With the 35 amazing destinations Alaska Airlines flies out of Portland, you can explore more. And with Alaska's low fares, you can spend less doing it. Explore more, spend less. Alaska Airlines.
You wake up. Your back hurts. Again. You need a new mattress, but hate shopping for one. Just go to a Park Lane. Crafted in Oregon. Sold only in Park Lane stores at a true minimum price. They'll match the way you sleep to the Park Lane's best for you. Delivered in 2 trucks. The blue one only delivers fresh, just-made Park Lanes. The green one only hauls old mattresses to recycling. Enjoy every night on a Park Lane. Rest well for years to come.
See the best in women's soccer right here in the Rose City. Catch U.S. star Alex Morgan, University of Portland grad Christine Sinclair, reigning FIFA Player of the Year Nadine Angerer, and the rest of the defending NWSL champion Portland Thorns all summer long at Providence Park. Welcome back to Providence Park, home of the NWSL champion Portland Thorns. The Thorns hosting Chicago on this gorgeous holiday afternoon. Visiting Red Stars starting 11 look like this. Karina LeBlanc, a familiar face and a former Thorn great, will start in goal for Rory Dames, 4 deep in the defensive backfield. Keep your eye on 5'10" Abby Ursig, the New Zealand international. A very dangerous midfield. Lori Kalupny really makes this club go. Leon in the mix as well, along with Van Egmond, the Aussie, and the rookie DiBernardo. Up top, dangerous Kristen Press finally joining the club, and Jen Hoy, who leads the club with 4 goals. Paul Riley will counter with his starting 11. Angerer between the pipes, as you would expect. Rachel Van Hallebeck will anchor the defense along with Catley, Marshall, and Huffman. No Emily Menges today, in the starting lineup anyway. Riley's diamond has Allie Long as the holding mid. Vero and Heath should bring some magic to the pitch. Farley with her 14th start up top. Check it out. No Christine Sinclair. Riley opting to give his captain a rest, so it'll be Morgan and Jess McDonald as the 2 forwards. The Thorns in their home kits as the holiday crowd pours in. You'd expect a good crowd, and that's exactly what you're seeing. Special one-time appearance with the tri-colored jerseys for the Thorns, black shorts and red socks. Red Stars will feature their white shirts, light blue breeches, and white socks. Chicago will be heading north towards the Riveters. Portland due south towards the Mac Club. Beautiful temperatures, blue skies. We're looking at about mid-70s with a calm breeze. And a very crucial game for both of these clubs. As I mentioned, identical 6-6-2 records, both with 20 points. This is a critical time, as this is a monster July for the Portland Thorns in terms of games played in a month. They need these 3 points at home. The visiting Red Stars, who have suffered through a pretty tough June themselves. the last 5, 0 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie. Going from second place all by their lonesomes, dropping down a bit in the standings. They would love the 3 points as well. Very close to the start, and we are underway. The Portland Thorns and Chicago Red Stars presented by Nike. Janine, right away, I'd love to get your take on the Christine Sinclair situation. You rarely see this woman out of the lineup, only for a national team call-up. What gives?
Well, we have a little bit of an advantage in that we have so many good players that she gets a well-deserved rest. This woman is working internationally and here in Portland hard every single day, all the time. So she deserves this rest, and we're lucky enough that we have someone like Jess that can come in who's not a step down. She's just a different player, and she's going to get in there and make a difference for us.
So we are underway at Providence Park. During the Open, Janine was talking pretty pointedly about a fast start for the Thorns. And we'll see if they're going to follow, obviously, Paul Riley's similar advice.
You see how Chicago tried to do that same thing that we were talking about. They're in a similar situation, points-wise and in the standings.
Yep.
So they put all their players, most of their players up top on the kickoff. They started with the ball, and they sent most of their team forward. It didn't work for them, which is good for us. But let's see if we can win the ball back and do what we want to do to them.
Farley looks to carry a little bit. Nothing called there, and on the counter is a Chicago club. A team that loves to play direct. As the offside flag goes up, a direct style club that loves to really pack it in the 18 to help LeBlanc, and then boom on the counter or transition game, get going the other way with that long ball.
They were numbers down on that. They sent the ball to the outside, and we definitely had, more than twice as many players as they had, so we were good. But they are looking for that counter, and that's the type of ball you just saw.
Kolupny just hip checks Vero to the ground, and here comes Chicago. Kolupny can give it up, but I'll tell you what, in terms of fouls suffered, last year she led the league in being knocked on her fanny. Look at Morgan going after Kwan, and Kwan would have none of it. Huffman will flag it down. There's Kolupny. Just a great player for the Chicago club and a real player for the U.S. national team until concussions really took their toll. But I'll tell you, she is a force in this league.
She's a stalwart. I mean, she's someone that you can, depend on all the time, because she also brings it every single day.
Just the machine of this team for the second straight year. Just a great start for this Chicago bunch. Starting 7-1-1 and scoring a lot of goals, giving LeBlanc some goal support, and then boom, June rolled around. They had a ton of games, and Chicago has dropped in the standings and would love to get back on its feet.
As you said, Ann, their June is our July, so they faced a number of games in a row that were just really hard back to back to back. We've got Wednesday, Sunday, three times in a row.
Oof.
So we are playing.
Chicago's last game was June 21st.
That's amazing. That's a nice rest.
A 1-0 loss to FC Kansas City. Portland losing to FC Kansas City by that same margin on June 28th. But what a rest. We'll see if Chicago is very, very fresh or maybe a little rusty.
We're hoping for rust.
There you go. And while you're eyeballing this midfield with Heath making her debut this season for the Portland Thorns, she and Vero sharing that midfield, how can they spread the field?
They're trying to do it a little bit now. You see there's some good space in between them. So they're not crowding, they're not playing the same position, and they're just, it looks like they're starting really well together.
You see the speed of Kristen Press, allocated to Chicago, and finally finished with her overseas commitment. So this will be her third game and third start.
She's definitely a danger.
Oof.
She's someone that's going to give us a little bit of a push in the back.
Dangerous play, blocked nicely. Portland can't clear. There it goes, and here's Long sending it out wide to Catley.
I'd like to see the defender step up just a little bit and not give her quite as much space. I know we respect her. She is, one of the best players out there, Kristen Press. But we need to step on her a little bit as well. We need to attack on offense. We need to attack on defense a little too.
Scoreless here in the 6th minute, Providence Park. Another great crowd on hand. But the Thorns looking to go 500 at home. They're 3-4, Janine, here at Providence Park. Confounding.
It is a little bit, but we're getting that rhythm. We're trying to get all those pieces in place. And I think, it's not as easy as it always looks.
McDonald with that dummy play right there, but nobody on the receiving end of Catley's service. Both teams feeling each other out. You can see Portland really wanting to get numbers forward, getting that back line up to maybe loosen up Chicago's defense that tends to pack in the 18.
It looked like they're playing 3 of their midfielders really high. It's almost like a 4-1-3-2. So they're really trying to get some numbers and work. And they've been trying to work the ball. It's been, going pretty well. And it's just that little piece. They'll get it. It's coming.
Catley combining nicely. It'll be interesting to see how long, who's been asked to basically mark Kolupny, can hang with Laurie all match long and still be an offensive force. Vero wants to push and wide.
That's a good early strike across to let him know, hey, we're here and we're ready to shoot. We're coming at you.
KK LeBlanc. She was an absolute storybook tale last year in goal for the Portland Thorns and doing a really nice job for Chicago. Traded, of course, to bring in Nadine Angerer. 2013 FIFA Player of the Year, Angerer. It's a great call and a great get for Portland.
No kidding. It's so exciting. And you have LeBlanc has been one of the top goalkeepers in Canada for a long time. Everybody respects her and loved her here in Portland. Sad to see her go. But with the FIFA World Player of the Year, who's the first goalkeeper ever to win that award, that's just unbelievable. What a chance for us to see great goalkeeping here in Portland.
Ball knocked around that 18. Chicago able to get ahead on it. And we'll start the other way. Nice job by the Thorns in keeping their cool, combining, and here's McDonald. Heath was in that mix a little bit, but easy pickings for LeBlanc. Beautiful job by Catley, the youngster, dispossesses press, and here comes Portland again in their offensive third. Backing it up just a bit, Van Hallebuck. Rachel in the mix there too.
You can see we're trying to possess. We have really good ball work right now. There's some good combinations. We're not forcing it too much, but we're working the ball across a little bit between 3 or 4 players and then finding that one opportunity and trying to get the ball in.
Huffman tries to get that ball through, no go. Somehow Kolupny keeps it alive and she'll carry. Jen Hoy, who started this season absolutely on fire. Had a stretch where she had goals in 4 straight games, but it's been a while as Chicago has struggled to score goals the last 5 matches, but she is a target.
She has 2 of the 4 goals that she scored were game winners, so that's somebody that we definitely need to keep an eye on.
Hoy hasn't scored since May 28th. They'd love to get her back in the scoring column. Bywater's not starting for the Chicago Red Stars, always a threat as well. You know, Rory Dames has got some good subs on the bench as well. And really nice to see Mana Shim listed as one of the subs available for Riley with that patellar issue. Recovered much quicker than initially thought. Uh-oh, tough play right here. Hoy carrying, oh, I liked her angle, just wide.
Nadine came out well, cut down the angle, and Rachel was giving her enough pressure that made that shot really hard.
You see the speed of Hoy. Red Stars able to get behind the Thorns defense there. This looks like a fresh Chicago club to me.
They look like they're going after it.
Heath literally just got off a plane a couple of days ago, jumped on the practice field, and here in the starting lineup wearing number 17. Vero kind of came up lame on that right foot a little bit. In fact, she's kind of grabbing the Achilles, the ankle, something, but still going hard, and here she is. Alex leaving it for Catley. Heath couldn't quite catch up to that service. Johnston clears. Kolupny, no numbers, but she'll still carry.
1v5.
One hopper.
No problem for Portland.
Leone at the very last second was trying to come down that left side, but basically it was Kolupny against everybody.
Her versus the world.
Lori's got the 3 goals. Right behind Hoy with 4. And Portland has yet to test LeBlanc. Are you seeing any tendencies that need to change a little bit in terms of the offensive third?
I think that last shot we took, I think we could have taken the shot instead of making the pass. I think, you know, it's nice to get a shot. It's got to be just a little bit closer, and the buildup has to be with a little bit more sense of urgency and power to it.
Scoreless here, 12th minute. Every sport has what they call their dog days, Janine. You kind of mentioned it already. But what Portland is facing in July is really kind of wacky. 7 games in 24 days, a total of 14,000 miles round trip. They'll play Chicago 3 times in just a matter of days.
Out of 4 games, correct?
Man, yes.
Yeah. Those are the things that challenge you, though. These are professional women athletes, so they have to step up to the bar and they have to do the right thing and, you know, just put it out there in the field. Everybody faces a tough time. Chicago had a tough time in June.
Yep.
Like we said, this is their time, so they can do it.
Players decided to have a pretty intense meeting, coaches involved as well this week, to try to get on the right page. We talked with Paul before the game. What did you get in terms of the sense of how that meeting went, Janine?
I think it went really well. You know, whenever you get a chance to get people together, and if there are things, the intangibles that you don't know what's going on, you can address them. So if you address it, lessens the chance for other things to go wrong, and you try to make things better. So hopefully kind of clearing the air, getting on the same page, and knowing you want to be on the same page is huge. And sometimes just sitting down and talking about it really helps.
When you were with the U.S. national team with the likes of, you know, Michelle Akers and April Heinrichs and whatnot, did you ever have to have a players meeting?
We're so old school that, you know, we just went out and you had to just do the job and play hard. So that was before everybody figured out the kind of psychological part of the game and all that.
Beautiful ball right there. Oh, and kicked just at the last second. The Chicago defender, as Catley was able to get deep in that 18. Centering pass right in front of LeBlanc. Boy, from distance was Huffman.
They're looking to create. They're up in there, and Alex had a little chance on that ball. She couldn't quite get her body organized fast enough to get anything on it, and unfortunately lost the opportunity.
All starting with Catley, too. The rookie from Australia, the youngster, I should say, hardly any kind of a rookie with all of her international experience, but a rookie for the Thorns, getting better by the match. Catley just turning 20. Yikes.
Wow.
Scoreless in the 15th minute. Paul has always wanted, Coach Riley has always wanted his defenders to push forward, and Catley and Van Hallebeck have been doing that nicely at this point.
They have, and Huffman on the other side. That's really what that's what they're good at, and that's why they were chosen to start today. And that's what they're going to bring, and you can see it so far.
I'm glad you brought up Huffman. Absolutely. You know, this is a Portland club, Janine, that gets its opportunities. Shots on goal, shots during the game. But as you know, player and coach, finishing is a whole different can of soup.
That's that mental part of the game that we were talking about. You know, did you have meetings? Did you do this and that? You know, there's that intangible thing. What does it take? And most of the time, it's just that confidence, that feeling that you can do it, or the fight to go out and do it. You kind of create your own opportunities.
When this season started, there were a lot of missing pieces. Everything now in place for the Portland Thorns in terms of personnel. The injured players are back. Obviously, Kat Tarr is still recovering for her knee surgery, but in terms of the quote-unquote headliners, correct, everybody's back. Is it too late for Portland to make a push and make the playoffs?
No, because we're tied for third in points, and we're 2 games less having been played than other teams. So we're right in there. It's not very far away. 10 games left. This can totally happen. And as you said, they have all the pieces. And now it's just putting it together, getting that will to win that the coach talked about, that Paul Riley talked about, and just, you know, putting it out there on the field. You practice every week. The practice looks good, and that's great. But game time comes around, and you've got to have that sense of urgency, and you have to be able to get it done within the game, to put the result on the board, to play to get the result.
Last year, of course, Janine, you remember Portland was struggling at about this time of year as well, and they were able to get lightning in a bottle to catch that third slot, make the playoffs, and win this darn thing with 2 road victories in postseason play. It's not at all beyond a stretch when you look on paper at this personnel.
They're great. I mean, second to none on as far as paper. And I remember hearing a little bit about last season's team deciding to do it. And I think that's what it comes down to. You have that Warriors mentality that the players talked about, deciding to get it done and going out there and just literally doing it.
What I saw from Farley right there was making the extra effort. And I mean going flat out, laying out to keep that ball in play. That's what the Portland Thorns need. Now, did it result in anything? No, but that's what you chart, and that's when you realize you're in this thing emotionally going for a ball like that.
Exactly. That energy that she brings is going to sponsor somebody else's energy or effort for the next play. So you might see it, like you said, a play or 2 later, but that's huge to the team, what she's bringing, that intangible again.
Every time Kolupny even is around the ball, you expect something good to happen. She is that magnetic and really holds this club together. I like this Chicago team. This is a club that really struggled out of the gate last year, and their start this year, darn it, it's good for the league. LeBlanc, no problem there off the line. It's wonderful to see the Chicagos as they make some great acquisitions. They give up some players, but great rookie class, make some good trades, and they're in this thing.
I think, you know, that's the wonderful thing, is you're seeing the league grow on a number of levels. It's solid. They have great players, and even after last year, it's better. The play is better. The teams are closer. The teams are fighting. You know, there's a good sense of parity within everybody that you can go out and you can win every game. No one's going to walk away with it.
Hey fans, make the most of your morning with the freshly brewed McCafe coffee, always just $1 for any size and made with 100% Arabica beans. Pair it with a 300-calorie Egg McMuffin sandwich. McDonald's. Good day. Start here. Again, for the first time, no Menges in terms of starting in the defensive backfield for... Whoa! There's a tangle.
All right, good. We got a little fight out of the people. That's good. That's what we want to see.
Huffman and Van Egmond. I mean, this is a Chicago club that also has missing pieces now in place. With Van Egmond, with Ursig, with Press. This is a club that could make a push. They're now, even though they've got some injuries, no doubt, they're now able to think to themselves long-term this season.
Exactly. They're trying to go to the same place we're going, and right now we are in the same place points-wise. So it's awesome to see such great talent and such great women's soccer here in the U.S.
Here comes Kolupny. She'll carry. Barrow lets her go and into space. Kolupny from distance, knocked away by Long. Portland unable to clear. Great job by Catley. Tip your hat to Leon, who just won't let it go either. Crowd appreciates that hustle. Farley tag team there. That's exactly right. Give me that ball, says Huffman.
That's mine.
Great crowd on hand for this July 4th matchup. Not a lot to cheer about at this point here in the 21st minute in terms of shots on goal. But Portland doing a nice job hustling.
Not quite the fast start we would have wanted to see from them. But
you wanted a minute.
I did want a minute. You know, but if you ask for a minute, sometimes it only takes 2, so.
All right. I like the way you're thinking, by the way. I got no problem with that. McDonald punches it right back, and Catley will begin on that left side. She's been strong to start this match. Vero, one touch to Heath. Into space. Hemmings knocks it out of bounds. Nice to have her back in the lineup for this Chicago bunch. Coming back from knee surgery, and of course, you see that heavily bandaged wrist as well.
Nice for Chicago, especially when she gets to battle and do well against Alex Morgan.
Heath leaving it for Vero. And again, Kolupny everywhere. Look at Morgan hustling. Great job by Alex to just knock her off her perch, but here comes Chicago outside the 18. Dangerous there, beautiful sliding tackle. Heath.
Nicely done. We had the numbers back, so we were good. Good cover.
Augurer off her line, and she will whisk it away. Kolupny bearing down Nadine.
She has no problem saying, "Don't come in my box, I'll take that."
Timed it beautifully. Missed hit there, Farley. But Chicago knocks it right to Marshall, and here we go. Nice cut back there, Huffman.
I think they're having just a little bit of a hard time finding the forwards. Their runs are a little bit slow. They're not very dynamic, so it's pretty easy for them to be defended, and then Chicago's right there on them.
Morgan picks up the loose ball. Morgan.
Just couldn't quite get her foot on that one.
DiBernardo kind of gave her a little nudge and maybe didn't let Alex plant and shoot at the very last second. The turnover almost costing Chicago.
Some good tough defense by Chicago. They're not just going to let her in because of the name on her jersey.
Again, Paul Riley anticipating a lot of Chicago numbers in that defensive box as Farley's knocked down. And we're seeing exactly what he anticipated in terms of a lot of bodies around that 18.
That's true, and they're not sending everybody forward immediately either. They're a transition. They've got 1 or 2 up top, so they really have a 2v4 or 2v5. And then the players will come up a little bit after the play. So far, we're still numbers up and doing well on defense. You just have to watch those talented players that might actually be able to get through.
So the first corner kick of the game. This will be corner kick number 99 for the Thorns, number 80 for Long. Low line drive, flick header, McDonald! And there it is! In the 24th minute, off a set piece, Jess McDonald with her 9th goal of the year, and the Thorns lead at 1-0.
That was great follow by Jess McDonald. She had a little bit of a touch and was able to keep on it.
LeBlanc could not climb the ladder, and that gets this crowd going. Jess McDonald, who gets the starting nod today instead of Captain Sinclair, finds the back of the net.
She's a worker. She worked for that one just a little bit. It wasn't completely easy. She stayed with it long enough. She had the ball right at her foot, was able to convert in a really nice, composed way. She's in the box. She's got 2 people in front of her, but she didn't have a problem with it. She just did what she needed to do.
Left-footed beauty by McDonald, and here comes Kolupny. Chicago quickly looking for the equalizer.
Great defending.
Nicely done is right. It wasn't the 1 minute you had in mind, but it came in the 24
minutes, okay.
The fans will take it.
I will too.
All I know is when Portland has a lead and starts with the lead, this is a Thorns club that is very difficult then to chase and catch.
It's a good bit of confidence scoring first. In the 24th minute, it's not bad. It's still early enough that it's like, hey, we're leading this game. We're going to lead it for a little while.
Janine, I'm gonna assume from your playing and coaching days now that a 1-0 lead ain't nothing against a club that's as explosive as Chicago can be. You got to put the boot on the throat, correct?
Right, you can't just sit back and be happy for the rest of the time. You've got to keep playing, get to at least 2 more.
There's one. No, we thought maybe Morgan could beat LeBlanc.
She tried. She reached back for that one. That serve was a little bit behind her. That ball in. She tried to reach back for it. It was a good effort by Morgan.
Nice job by McDonald to find her compadre in the forward slot. Just putting it in a situation where almost steered in with the knee, but LeBlanc was able to make the save. Wow. Alex showing some life today. McDonald a bounce in her step. Vero and Heath obviously on the pitch together. Fun stuff. What a job by Vero to shake the defender. Here she is again, into space. Farley just wasn't reading it.
Vera's doing a great job in the midfield. Like I said, she's very mobile. You see her going a little bit more side to side, and she's losing defenders. They're having to pick themselves up and ask themselves, what happened?
Hoy, who had one of Chicago's better chances, taking on Van Hallebeck. She'll crack it. Angerer, no problem.
No problem for Dean. That was still 2 versus 4. So you got 2 attackers coming down. They're just not challenging or threatening that hard yet.
Janine, you had a chance to actually, as a keeper by Kraft with the U.S. national team in your playing days, you trained Angerer and Michelle Bedos earlier this year, correct?
I did.
And after this flurry, tell us what you learned about them and their styles.
Well, a little bit of style we talked about. And Michelle Betos kind of let me in on that. The German goalkeeper, Angerer, wasn't really into the footwork. She didn't really want to go in, and she just wanted to dive. Like, I'll just dive there. Whereas, Americans are a little bit different. We try to raise our kids or our keepers to use their feet, to do a little bit of it, different style. So it was really interesting to see how she approaches the game and what she thought was the most effective and kind of what she didn't need to do. So, but both great keepers, awesome to work with, hard workers, just wonderful at their craft.
So did Angerer take a page out of your book and you a page out of hers?
I think we just went with her page.
The world according to Nadine in terms of keeping.
No doubt. Listen, she's got the trophy.
You bet. 2013 FIFA Player of the Year.
Unbelievable. First goalkeeper. Unbelievable. That is just, it's awesome. It's awesome to have her here.
29th minute. Jess McDonald's tally giving Portland the 1-0 lead. She's now got 9 goals on the season.
She has done really well. For a youngish type player to come in and really make an impact has been wonderful for the club.
Man, what a day to watch a game, huh?
This is gorgeous.
Are you kidding me?
This is why we live in Portland, isn't it?
Well, this is sure one of them. It's going to be really interesting to see how Portland's defense is able to maintain its organization against a Chicago club that once in a while will try to go deep and see if they can beat them on the long ball.
It takes a lot of discipline because they really do that transition style where they're sending that one person through quickly.
Great job by Nikki Marshall. Little flick header right to long, and Portland's able to collect. I'll tell you, Riley had a clear-cut challenge to Allie Long today to handle Kolupny, to be that holding mid. So far, so good.
I think she's done a great job. She, again, we've got a hard-working team here at Portland. You couldn't ask for much more out of them. So when she's, challenged with something, she steps right up and says, I can do this. And the harder the challenge, I think, the harder she plays.
Beautiful ball by LeBlanc, a little deeper than Heath was anticipating. Another sliding tackle from Tobin, and Hemmings was stopped, but still Chicago deep in Portland's territory. Catley, ball definitely out. You look at a player like Steph Catley, who we mentioned was only 20 years old, but has been playing top shelf level soccer since she was 15. So obviously these are circumstances where you can almost look at her like a veteran.
Definitely. Kids are playing younger and younger these days. They have under 17, under 20 World Cups, so they're getting great international experience at younger ages.
This is the aggressive Angerer that we saw to begin the season. She seems to have a little bit more of a bounce in her step.
She looks like she's talking to herself a little bit. She didn't hit that ball exactly where she wanted to, which is good to see. So she's into this game, and she has a plan. She's trying to execute it.
Late flag is that possession favored Portland until Farley gave it up, and so we'll. There we go. Again, Van Hallebeck, very, very high numbers favoring Portland, throwing everybody up here in the offensive third. Vero. Dance around, Vero!
Nicely taken.
I like it.
She looks, you can see her taking a couple touches to try to set her up and create just enough space to get that ball through. She does such a great job at that.
Vero has that one goal this year, and she is not afraid to shoot from a bit of distance. Rachel hustling. Heath trying to keep it Portland's possession, but Chicago returns the favor, gives it up. Farley turns. Got to be a little bit more pinpoint with those passes, Janine. Both clubs giving it up.
Just think you take that extra second and just make sure that they're sorted out.
Here's Tobin. Hemmings has her. Tobin expecting a run. McDonald screened nicely by Kwan, couldn't get there, but again, Portland still possessing in their offensive third.
It was a nice idea, but like you said, we had 3 players at the far post, so nobody making that run, they were already there.
Great job by Huffman. Here's Farley. Vero.
Great touch.
Vero. Oh my! There's the magician that Paul Riley was talking about, or the wizard, as he likes to call her.
Definitely, you can see why. It's just beautiful with the ball, a lot of control. She's setting that player up, and she's waiting for that opportunity. She's not just hitting it. She's gonna make sure it happens by creating it.
So hard not to bite on those fakes.
Definitely, she's smooth. She's so smooth that, like you said, you believe it. She's gonna do something, and she'll trick you every time, that tricky wizard.
And that all started with Huffman again winning a 50-50 ball on that end line. The little things that Riley and actually you were talking about. It all started with that win.
That's right. When you press up high and you're putting some pressure on them, you get those players up the field, you have a better chance of winning it. When you do, you're closer to their goal.
Beautiful job by Vero. She'll carry. Van Egmond tracking. Tobin with the left foot. Wanted to slot it by LeBlanc, who had to go to her knees.
Needed just a little bit more of a swing on that ball to get it more threatening.
Actually, right foot, my bad. And you're right, just a little bit on the outside of the foot. Making LeBlanc work, though, as the first half wanes on. '35th minute. Thorns leading it 1-0 here in front of a great crowd at Providence Park. Jess McDonald's 9th goal of the season in the 24th minute has given Portland the lead. We have not said has given Portland the lead in many games. Sounds good.
Let's keep saying it.
Yep. Catley's got some company. There's press. Early on, we were talking about Kristen quite a bit with that speed. Nice tackle there. And here's Kolupny. Foot race. Unger way off her line. Oh! Ooh, a little dicey there as neither player would quit on that ball.
It's good to see, though. Nadine Anger controlling her entire box. She's at the top of the outside of the 18 saying, don't come in here because I'm going to come get that ball.
No foul called there, and Morgan cannot believe it. There it is. Nope. The foul is going to go against Allie Long, and Alex slow to get up. I was surprised a whistle did not blow. Hemmings really got her. Well, Timon Barry says play on, and the foul will again go against Allie Long moments later. Morgan has used her speed on some runs today.
A little bit. I'd love to see some more out of her, that's for sure.
Kolupny, so clever. Kolupny, oh, just trying to thread the needle there. A great idea by Kolupny and knocked away at the last second.
Nadine hits a quick one, trying to see if Morgan's isolated up top with a defender to go 1v1.
I like the idea. Look at Morgan. Alex really battling today.
That's what we need. It's great to see.
Leone returns the favor. Both teams really battling for those 50-50 balls. Farley leaves it. McDonald.
That was a great run from McDonald. One of the things we haven't seen as much as I think we'd like to see is the Portland forwards really getting into the attack a little bit, going more side to side, a little bit more dynamic running. And so that she demanded the ball by her run. She made the run and said, hey, look, I'm going, send it to me. They did, and we got a corner out of it.
Last corner kick resulted in McDonald's goal. Here's Allie Long again. So the official says that Long's bandage isn't either appropriate or covering enough of the blood, so they're basically waving her off.
She'll just get off and get it covered, and then they'll put her right back on.
Sure. So it'll be Vero shortening things up. Farley leaving it for Vero right outside the 18. Trapped.
Ball touch.
Huffman! Yes! Oh, what a finish by Sarah Huffman! Another set-piece goal for the Portland Thorns. Sarah Huffman! Wow, what a finish! Her first goal of the year.
That's such a great touch from her, and so much composure in the box. It's one thing to push someone up in the box. It's another thing for them to show that much composure that once you get in to do something with it.
What a finish by Huffman.
That's incredible confidence in finishing.
How calm she was here, Janine.
She knew she can do it. She knew, again, she knew what she had to do, and she did it too.
Sarah Huffman patiently waiting her turn, working her tail off in practice, lately getting the starting nod, and today picking up her first goal of the season.
If that's what the coach puts you in for, if the coach wants to see you attack, then there's no better thing to do than to go up, attack, and score.
And isn't that what's kind of fun about the game?
Definitely.
Let's see how Chicago responds. As you'd expect, Kolupny forcing the issue. Tough play there, oh! couldn't see exactly who struck that. I think it was Press. She and Klupny kind of shoulder to shoulder right outside the 6, and it was Press over the crossbar. Chicago coming right back.
I think they found themselves a little surprised. There was 2 players at the near post, and she didn't have her body ready. Didn't get over the top of it, and the ball went over the bar.
Hoffman diving to keep that ball alive. Heath finding Vero. Now Morgan, dangerous here. Wants to cut back. Literally triple teamed. Nice job by Chicago to dispossess. The transition game that Riley was fearful of. There is the Chicago chance thwarted by Portland's defense.
We have to do just a little better job with our defensive assignments. The outside back came in to cover the middle, but that left the other player open on the outside, so Rachel had to come back and cover for her, and they did a great job doing it. That's one thing that we just have to keep doing and make sure that we step up just a little bit on it.
It certainly left that side exposed, didn't it?
It did.
See if Portland can do something on this counter. Here's McDonald. Heavy touch that Morgan couldn't catch up with.
I think she possibly could have waited a little bit longer on that ball and hit Morgan going to the outside.
Ball up for grabs. Van Hollebeck gets a noggin on it. Heath calmly gets it to the feet of Catley. It's just fun to watch Vero and Tobin do their thing together.
The more great players, the better. There's just some really good soccer going on.
High boot there. Thought Ursig may get a whistle, but instead, nice combining there by Chicago. Carrying is Van Egmond. Hey fans, fly Alaska Airlines nonstop from Portland over 30 cities, including new flights to Salt Lake City. Explore more, spend less at alaskaair.com. 43rd minute, Portland leading it 2-0. Goals by McDonald and Sarah Huffman, giving the Thorns the advantage. I don't even want to bring up the fact that I vividly remember a 3-1 Portland lead, I'm going to bring it up, over Chicago here last season, 3-1, and Portland was playing lights out, and Chicago came back and tied that game 3-3. That's how it ended. So no lead safe against this club. Press.
Definitely not.
Press so dangerous, and she'll get it from the left foot. Gives it up, though. Angerer, as aggressive as we've seen her in the last X amount of games.
That's great. She is really owning her box. She had no hesitation. She, again, said, this ball is coming in my box. I can get there, and I'm going to get it. You have no chance at it. That's what she's saying to the other team.
Farley leaves it. Again, touched just a little too strong. McDonald can't flag it down. We're getting close to stoppage time.
So to your point, Ann, when you were talking about the 3-1 game, really it's a 2-0 game at that point. And every coach I know always says what's the most dangerous score in soccer is 2-0.
How about, you know, the Thorns have been susceptible on the defensive end to opponents' set pieces and corner kicks. We've given up some soft goals in that respect. Today it's been the opposite, where we've taken advantage. The Thorns have taken advantage of those set pieces, particularly the corners.
I think they're doing a very good job of taking advantage of most of the things have been thrown at them, really. So, I mean, they are making the runs. Here
Alex,
we go.
1v1. Alex just bumped a little by Hemmings, didn't have the angle, and LeBlanc was able to cut the rest of it off. didn't have a chance to cut that thing back. Hemmings was on her.
She didn't. She was a little off balance, and she was, getting toward the end line. So with the really bad angle, she didn't really have many options. Defenders tight on her, closing her down. She tried to get something out of it. It was on goal. LeBlanc made a save, so that was, at least we're getting some threats.
Credit Hemmings for making that difficult, but another corner kick.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official on the
Boy,
sideline.
heading it away.
There will be a minimum of 1 minute.
1 minute of stoppage time, and stoppage time, by the way, is presented by Larog Brothers Jewelers, Portland's original engagement ring store. 1 minute. That was interesting, where Angerer wasn't going to wait for Marshall to make a decision, literally came and poked it away from Marshall and that Red Star.
I'm wondering if she'd said anything in that situation. That's what makes it very difficult and a little bit unfortunate, is that it looked closer than it probably needed to be. If somebody doesn't say anything, if Angerer comes out and the defender doesn't know what they're going to do, it's a little bit tough. So hopefully she kind of sorts that out for the next time.
Angerer, the German international, captain of that fine squad. Chicago better hurry. Kwan just sends it right back to Nadine, and you hear the whistle, and that will do it. An appreciative crowd here at Providence Park, loving the first half. McDonald and Huffman both with goals, and the Portland Thorns leading Chicago by the score of 2-0. Our halftime festivities will commence in just a moment.
What does one serve the best basketball player in the world? The new Bacon Clubhouse sandwich, of course. 100% pure beef or chicken on a new artisan roll, all with our famous Big Mac special sauce. There's something for everyone to love at McDonald's.
You should serve it to everyone.
If anyone objects to this marriage,
I object! You paid too much for that ring! This family has bought all our diamonds from the Larog brothers for over 100 years, not some chain store. Larog's has the lowest prices on GIA-certified diamonds and 2 years interest-free financing. You even paid for a warranty! But, nice girl.
Larog Brothers. With age comes wisdom.
Open up your arms and feel the sunlight on your skin. Cross your fingers, it won't leave you. That this feeling never ends. Never looking in the rear view. We never had a time with the sunshine in your hair and your lover in your eyes. You're the stars up in the night sky.
You wake up. Your back hurts. Again. You need a new mattress, but hate shopping for one. Just go to a Park Lane. Crafted in Oregon. Sold only in Park Lane stores at a true minimum price. They'll match the way you sleep to the Park Lane's best for you. Delivered in 2 trucks. The blue one only delivers fresh, just-made Park Lanes. The green one only hauls old mattresses to recycling. Enjoy every night on a Park Lane. Rest well for years to come.
Welcome back to Providence Park. We are at halftime. The Portland Thorns leading the visiting Chicago Red Stars. The score 2-0. Jess McDonald, Sarah Huffman with goals to pace the Thorns. Nice to have a lead at halftime. All right, speaking of nice to have, how great is it to have Tobin Heath back in the Portland Thorns lineup? I'll tell you, Portland Thorn fans all over this region have been waiting for this moment, and you know what? So has Tobin. What can you bring to share with Vero to be yourself? You create, she creates. How does this all become a big synchronized machine, if you will.
Yeah, I think this is like what you live for as a player. You know, these situations where you have to come in and you have to do something. And I'm really excited to kind of try and fit some pieces together. Obviously, there's tremendous talent on this team, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be at the top of the table. So I think whatever I can do to kind of help and to gel and help this team kind of come to victory, I'll do anything at this point.
Can you draw from last year? Because there are a lot of similarities, if you will, in terms of when you came onto the pitch and joined the club last year, middle of the season, and there was some lulls then too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a competitor and I love to win, so I'm going to find a way to help this team win as best as I can, as best as I know how. And absolutely, we can draw on a lot from last year. You know, we had our ups and downs, but coming together as a team, pulling together, fighting together to get that victory. So I think that's what we kind of have to like pull ourselves up and maybe not feel like as sorry for ourselves at this point, because we've got a great opportunity ahead of ourselves and I think we're up to it.
So there are very many familiar faces that you are very comfortable with on the pitch. Obviously, teammates from last year, U.S. Women's National Team members. It's not like you're coming into a new deal, right?
No.
Even though there is the Vero factor, you two will have some fun, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of different I guess, talents on the field here, a lot of different personalities, and I think that's what makes it special here in Portland. Obviously, having Vero, like one of the best players in the world here, she's already made a difference, I think, coming in, and hopefully I'm able to compliment her and help her even push her game even more.
There is a love affair with you and this town. They can't wait to see you in Thorns gear again, and I know that you've gotten a little juice from the fans here as well.
Yeah.
What's that special connection?
This place is great. There's nothing like it in the whole wide world. I'm just thrilled to be back because I really do draw off this crowd and this city. It's fantastic, and I can speak for the whole team about that. But at this point, we need to win for the city, you know, and we need to bring it home. And I think this city deserves that again. And I'm going to do everything I can for my fans, you know, and for this city who supports this team, like with their blood and tears, and I love it here, so I'm really excited to play.
And there was magic down the stretch last year. No reason to think that can't happen again this year.
No, and I know there's a lot of belief in this team, and I think we can make it happen.
I like the way you just put that. And you'll be a part of it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Deal. Thank you. Tobin and company making sure that the Portland Thorn fans have plenty to cheer about today. Huffman with the goal, McDonald with the goal, and the Thorns leading the Chicago Red Stars by the score of 2-0. We are at halftime here at Providence Park. Just a gorgeous day. Lots of fans enjoying that first half. Janine and I will be back in just a second to break down what happened in the first half, so stick around as our halftime festivities continue.
Sports fans, do you want to get in shape? Text LA Fitness to 50500 for a complimentary guest pass to your local LA Fitness. That's LA Fitness to 50500. Exercise your options.
What does one serve the best basketball player in the world? The new Bacon Clubhouse sandwich, of course. 100% pure beef or chicken on a new artisan roll, all with our famous Big Mac special sauce. There's something for everyone to love at McDonald's.
You should serve it to everyone.
Alaska Airlines invites you to explore more flora and fauna. Explore more hot spots or more cold ones. Explore more holes in the wall. With the 35 amazing destinations Alaska Airlines flies out of Portland, you can explore more. And with Alaska's low fares, you can spend less doing it. Explore more, spend less. Alaska Airlines.
Halftime winding down here at Providence Park. The Portland Thorns leading the visiting Red Stars from Chicago 2-0. Great first half for the Portland Thorns. And shots along with my broadcast partner, Janine Spera. All right, let's break down that first half. We talked about three things to begin this game. Tobin being in the lineup. Can she coexist with Vero? And a sense of urgency. Let's revisit those and see how Portland is faring in your opinion.
Well, I think Tobin's doing a great job. I mean, obviously, she's giving us something extra, something more. And those two together, the same thing we talked about, they're a little bit different. So there's not two of the same. It's two different things that we're getting out of them that then gives problems because the defense can't just sit there and know what they're going to do.
Boquette with one of the assists today as far as the 2 goals are concerned. So I'm not going to say clearly. I'm going to ask you, and then, of course, I'll butt in. But it looks as if those two magicians, those two wizards can play on the pitch at the same time.
Definitely. Great players. It's so wonderful to see. I mean, it's just they are playing well. Portland is playing well. They've done great things. They're getting good things out of each other. And then to add, Tobin Heath to the lineup to see what they can do, like you said, they are playing. They're like magicians being together.
Nadine Angerer seems to be back to the old Nadine. She really seems to be minding her space with authority.
I think so. She has not only controlled the 6, but out to the top of the 18.
Sense of urgency. How do you grade the Thorns in that department?
Well, I'd maybe give them a B+. They did get it done. We did challenge them a little bit. We wanted it in the first minute, but it took them 24 to score the first goal. But they're doing it. They're doing it a little bit on their own pace. They have good possession, so they look good. They're looking for the opportunities, and they threaten the goal.
And finishing. We know that has been a bugaboo for the Thorns the last X amount of games. 2 goals so far at halftime, a good sign for the Portland Thorns and their fans. We will really get things going with kickoff in just a moment. Thorns leading it 2-0.
You wake up. Your back hurts. Again. You need a new mattress, but hate shopping for one. Just go to a Park Lane. Crafted in Oregon. Sold only in Park Lane stores at a true minimum price. They'll match the way you sleep to the Park Lane's best for you. Delivered in 2 trucks. The blue one only delivers fresh, just-made Park Lanes. The green one only hauls old mattresses to recycling. Enjoy every night on a Park Lane. Rest well for years to come.
If anyone objects to this marriage,
I object! You paid too much for that ring! This family has bought all our diamonds from the Larocque brothers for over 100 years, not some chain store. Larocque's has the lowest prices on GIA-certified diamonds and 2 years interest-free financing. You even paid for a warranty! But, nice girl.
Larocque Brothers. With age comes wisdom.
Alaska Airlines invites you to explore more flora and fauna. Explore more hot spots or more cold ones. Explore more holes in the wall. With the 35 amazing destinations Alaska Airlines flies out of Portland, you can explore more. And with Alaska's low fares, you can spend less doing it. Explore more, spend less. Alaska Airlines.
What does one serve the best basketball player in the world? The new Bacon Clubhouse sandwich, of course. 100% pure beef or chicken on a new artisan roll, all with our famous Big Mac special sauce. There's something for everyone to love at McDonald's.
You should serve it to everyone.
Here's your chance to win big and give back to the community at the same time. Buy your ticket for the AC Portland 50-50 raffle at every Timbers and Thorns home game. 50% of the jackpot benefits AC Portland and the Portland Timbers Community Fund. AC Portland's mission is empowering students to lead healthy lives, succeed academically, and inspire positive community engagement. To participate, just look for the 50-50 signs at your next Timbers or Thorns home game or visit timbers.com/5050.
Less than 2 minutes away from the start of the second half, the Portland Thorns leading Chicago 2-0 here at Providence Park. Great crowd on hand. Happy 4th of July, everybody. 2 goals for the Portland Thorns in that first half. That is a luxury that we haven't seen in a while, both coming on corner kicks, Janine. Nice for the conversion factor to happen in the favor of the Thorns.
Definitely. They've made the most of their opportunities.
McDonald with her first, able to convert with the left. I think we've got another angle. Jess with her 9th goal of the year. Here it is.
She gets the first touch, she controls a little bit, and she's composed enough to take that second touch very accurately.
Sarah Huffman with her first goal of the year. You'll see it again off a set piece.
This is a great ball in from Vero. Great touchdown, takes a couple touches, sets up, finds one little tiny space, and that's where she puts it.
How was Huffman able to stay that composed and controlled, not known as a goal scorer?
She's a professional.
Boy, falling down almost while converting with some pace on that kick that LeBlanc could not catch up to. So the score reading 2-0. The Portland Thorns leading Chicago. Both teams back out on the pitch. Fans getting settled as well. What are the keys for Chicago in the second half, do you think, Janine? And again, we'll go with the Thorns after that as far as must do on that department for the Thorns. But first with Chicago.
I think if they get up top, if they get those numbers in that they're trying to transition, they just really have to do something with those final chances. Once they get in the box, they have to finish. They had two players near post. They got the shot. It has to be on frame. They have to do something that threatens the goal or gets a credible chance. I think if they push people up, which is the problem being that's not really their style, but they do need a little bit more support to see if they can do that. And on the other end, how do you stop Vero? I don't know that I have an answer for Chicago on that one.
And if you're Portland, you don't sit on this, though. So what do you do to keep reminding yourself to be aggressive and to not sit on any kind of a lead?
I think you come out with that mentality, that warrior mentality they talked about. There is no rest. This is, you go 90 minutes. You go whistle to whistle. You come out from the beginning. We have the kickoff this time. Let's see how aggressive they are in the kickoff and going at them from the very minute.
And Christine Sinclair will start the second half. And also Zakiya Bywater starting the second half for Chicago. So both Paul Riley and Rory Dames mixing things up a little bit. The crowd reacting, of course, to Captain Sink on the pitch today. The Thorns now will face and head towards the Riveter cheering section. Chicago heading towards Mac Club due south. Beautiful day here in Portland. The Rose City looking at about 70 degrees. Northeast winds gusting 10 to 13 miles an hour, and the second half is underway. The Thorns and Red Stars presented by Nike. Quickly into Vero. Wants to find Alex. Right at LeBlanc.
Start. That's what we're looking for, but just a little bit more out of Morgan. She's got to get herself in a position where she's really hitting that ball hard and putting something on it to challenge LeBlanc.
A relatively easy save for Karina.
Very easy.
Knocked to the pitch is Heath. Hemmings will carry. Look at Sink trying to disrupt play, but instead Taryn comes out with it. Boy, she is tough. Double teamed, dispossessed. Catley will knock it out, and Portland's defense will try to get organized. 2-0. Thorns with goals from McDonald in the 24th minute, Huffman in the 39th, both coming via set pieces. Corner kicks to be exact. And Unger are pretty darn tough between the pipes for this Portland bunch. We'll have to keep an eye on Bywater's number 5. Her pace is really fun. She can really go box to box. Hallebeck and Hoy.
Bywaters is one of the young up-and-coming players. We've heard a lot about her from the youth system. She's out there and she can really make a difference. So like you said, there's some that we need to watch for now.
2 goals for Bywaters. She's only started 6 games for Rory Dames. Beautiful ball. There's Zakiya. We've been talking about her. And Chicago with their own sense of urgency to start the second half, looking to get back in this thing in a hurry. Both clubs at 6-6-2. Both clubs with 20 points. Both clubs trying to make a push as we're past the halfway point towards one of those 4 coveted playoff spots. Vero cuts back, got Catley. Oh, look at that. Heath hopping on that right foot a little bit. And Catley. Oh, what a ball inside. A diagonal to the running McDonald, who couldn't get a foot on it.
She was there, and that's the thing we've talked about earlier in the first half, is making that run and getting yourself in a position where you could actually be dangerous, and she definitely was.
Almost call that a bit of a sitter. A nice job by Catley. Terrific ball into that box. This has been a physical game. And there's Nikki Marshall down, slow to get up. I don't know if she took one in the face or the head, Janine.
I'm not sure either. I'm glad that they're taking their time, though, because anything in the head you definitely want to be careful with.
Trainer hustling on the far side of the pitch. Let's see. It looks like the ball hit her in the face.
Yeah.
I didn't see an inadvertent elbow. Nothing dirty on that. I think the ball got her.
No, I think she just turned and didn't quite see where it was coming. It was a little bit of an awkward ball and hit her wrong. I think maybe in her nose.
Maybe a bloody nose or something?
Yep.
So off she goes to tend to that. Yep. And they'll try and get that controlled as soon as possible. That is such, you know, you get hit there and you're seeing stars and whatnot. You just got to get the blood controlled, get her back on. Here's Sinclair controlling. Bywater's taking it from her. Kind of confusion there for Chicago. And Van Hollebeck can't clear. Bywater's again, dangerous territory. Confusion on the part of both clubs, really.
Bywaters is getting in, and that's something we don't want to happen, but defensively did well with it. Nadine was there.
McDonald gives it up. Vero, a little heavy on that touch to Heath. Let's see what team can settle down the most and keep organized, whether offensively or defensively.
The nice thing is it looks like they've both come out of the locker room ready to play. They want to play this second half. They're not just sitting back and saying, all right, let's go have barbecue, but let's play.
Here comes Kolupny. Allie trying to mark her. Kolupny, ooh, headed out of the way at the last second. Vero in that 6 box.
Got a little lucky. We're a little overcrowded on the near post.
That was Huffman, excuse me.
They had 3 people far post that Sink was trying to catch up to and cover, but did a good job to get the ball out. Just need to be a little bit more careful of our defensive marking up.
And here comes Marshall. It's a good thing Huffman got ahead on that thing. That could have been an interesting service.
Definitely.
DiBernardo. Ball went through Ongerer's hands.
I think she tried to push it a little bit.
Okay. Bywater's immediately showing pace and immediately showing offense for this Chicago club.
She could be that little spark that Chicago needed, and that's why coaches make a change, especially up top when they're down 2-0.
Hemmings now. Marked by Catley, cutting it in nicely. Nice job by Catley. Vero. Beautiful ball. Heath. McDonald. Who can she find?
Looking for Morgan.
Had an idea. Sinclair can still have the dangerous play. Heath mishit it.
Portland's having just a little hard time getting their footing.
Vero, so calm, head always up. Van Hollebeck, who's recorded an assist in this game. Catley right off the noggin of Hemmings. Boy, has Taryn and Kolupny been everywhere or what?
I tell you, they get around. That's what their team revolves around, and you can see how important they are to Chicago.
Man, I just love the play of those two. The motor's on them. All right. Corner kick. Vero had a notion, but she says, "Now, Allie, that's usually what you do, so give it up." Both goals The quick one coming here on the short for Vero. It's a great job by the Red Star defense. And here's Kolupny. Catley gets turned around.
They still have numbers back. Chicago still isn't pushing their numbers forward. They finally sent 3 players up in the beginning as a one against 4.
It'll be interesting to see if Chicago can get press a little bit more into the mix as well, as dangerous as she is.
She's such a quality forward. It's hard to believe that she's not more involved, but you know, they have that transition style where they're just looking to go quickly and send a few people. She's not always there.
Foul whistled against the rookie DiBernardo as she tackled Sinclair. This could be an interesting opportunity for the Thorns as well.
It's nice to have a free kick or two around the goal.
Heck yeah.
We'll take it.
Heath and Vero standing over the ball. Riley's Wizards talking to each other.
This does give you something different. They both can do this, and they both have something to offer.
Little chip.
Okay, tried to go short, lay up a little before the green. Didn't quite get the run onto it that we needed.
Right. Because of the defense or just because of the timing, do you think?
A little bit of the type of ball, and then the run probably need to start a little early. So the communication between the run and the serve needs to happen probably a little bit better.
McDonald double teamed. Holding off defenders nicely. Sinclair gives it up. And here comes Chicago. Errant pass.
It was a dangerous step by Nikki Marshall. She was a little bit too high up the field to just bite on that. She should have stayed in the hole, played the 2v1.
Nice cutback by Johnston. Oh, that through ball almost happened with Bywaters. Good idea by Johnston and Bywaters there. Foul goes against Portland. Chicago trying to climb back into this thing here in the 56th minute. The Thorns leading at 2-0 with 2 first-half goals. McDonald and Huffman with the scoring honors.
So great to see Huffman get up there and get the goal.
Kolupny. Oh, Unger mixing it up.
Nicely done by Unger. She's not that tall, and she didn't really get a jump on it, so that was a good challenge by the forward, but she got to it, hung on to it, even under that pressure.
Boy, Unger really aggressive on that play there.
And that's exactly what the Thorns need her to do. They need her to get up. They need her to protect that box, and she's doing an excellent job today.
Leaving it for Hemmings. A little heavy on that touch.
We got a little lucky on that one with the defender, Portland defender, stepping away from that ball, creating a little space on the out. Had that touch not been so heavy, it could have been a very dangerous situation.
Vero in open space, will leave it for McDonald. Johnston has her. Vero, beautiful ball, Alex Morgan, and the offside flag goes up. Oh baby,
Morgan,
just a tad offside.
She just stepped a little too early on that serve, which is sometimes hard to tell because Vera's so quick, you weren't sure when the serve was going to come in.
Catley, beautiful ball for Jess.
It's good, we're seeing opportunities. They're getting in front of goal and they're credible threats, so that's great to see.
And it 5'10" Ursig trying to deny McDonald a chance to have an angle on that header. Did a nice job of having Jess getting a head on it, but with no angle at all.
Just tight enough to her to mess her up that she couldn't really get that step to get up above the ball.
Vero cutting back, leaving it for Sink. Catley again, one of her better matches since joining the Thorns, just getting better by the game. Tight quarters there, releasing his Heath. Hemmings does a terrific job of dispossessing and knocking it out of bounds. Taryn Hemmings has been all over the place today.
Some great defending. She shut down Morgan a couple of times just in the beginning of the game as well, just stepped up from the start.
Foul's going to go against Heath and the Thorns as Hemmings is slow to get up. Hemmings with all of the knee issues and injuries and rehab. It's just great to see her back on the pitch.
She's showing and playing that she's excited to be out there, that's for sure.
No Haley Brock, TMJ surgery. Samantha Johnson just underwent a little surgery herself after getting hit in the face in that Flash game, so some plastic surgery. This is a banged up Chicago club that's still plenty dangerous. Glad to see Kat Tarr's rehab going well.
She's another great piece to the puzzle. She's someone that we have, that Portland has. I think both teams have just amazing players that they're able to call on.
Tobin battling.
Maybe a little ambitious on that shot.
Yeah,
I like the idea. I like the attack, the immediate attack, but maybe just a little closer.
You know, Janine, when Portland was able to win 2 straight against Washington back in June, 2-0 and then 6-1, I think a lot of folks thought that the lid was off the basket, so to speak. The lid was away from the goal, and then Portland suffering 2 straight losses after that, really not able to muster much offense. Today, I'm not saying today a season makes, but it's been nice to see finishing chances that are on the table.
Correct. They've had the chances in our last game as well, as in the Portland last game as well. They had chances. They just didn't always get there. It doesn't take much. It takes a half an inch here and there sometimes to just be off. And that one game where you score 6 goals, everything was spot on.
61st minute here at Providence Park. Beautiful day for soccer here on the 4th of July. Happy 4th to all of you. The Thorns leading Chicago 2-0. The first of 3 meetings between these league rivals.
This is like an NBA championship series or something we're playing.
You were telling me of 4 games being played for Portland, the next 4 games, 3 of them against Chicago.
Correct.
Gee whiz.
They're either going to love each other or hate each other by the end.
There's press and all that speed, cutting in front of Catley nicely. Knocked away by Van Hallebeck, and there's the offside whistle. Van Hallebeck looking like the veteran there, is Bywaters, excuse me. Bywaters at 5'1", very sneaky, very deceptive, very fast.
She might just go underneath you. She's got the speed to do it.
Huffman tagging on Bywaters' jersey after Zakia did a nice job of dispossessing. And that foul was out of desperation, wasn't it?
She's going to be carded for
it.
It was. She got around her. Bywaters made a great touch, and she's just decided not to let her go, so she grabbed her jersey a little bit.
So Huffman.
Professional foul.
Yeah, it was. Good. That's she absolutely got deked on that dispossess, and she needed to do something to stop the progress. So there's the yellow for Huffman. She's already enjoying a memorable moment, her first goal of the season. Big hop to Angerer.
Not a big threat there.
Nope. It'll be really interesting as well to see if Portland's offense can generate enough to get that third goal in the back of the net to really give themselves a chance to think, we've got this thing. Heath leaves it. There's Morgan. And there is the offside flag again.
Just a little step too quick. I know nothing about having too much speed. Must be hard to be Morgan. She's so fast. She's ready to go. She wants to get in. She just steps a little bit too early.
Is that a timing thing, Janine?
A little bit. Sometimes it's hard to hold yourself back because you want to go so much. And then if the person just slows their motion a little bit and doesn't hit the ball quite as fast, it just really puts you half a step ahead of where you should be.
That offside thing is literally a matter of inches.
Mm-hmm. You've seen that in the World Cup.
Boy, again and again.
It's a nice graphic to look at and kind of explain it to people.
Hemmings with the throw in. She'll get it right back. Deep ball by Ursig. Bywater's in a race to flag that down. Can't catch up with it, but it'll still belong to Chicago. She wants a quick throw in.
A little mismarked in the back post.
Zakia looking to cross. Dangerous ball for Unger. Oh, at the last second, coming in to save the day was Catley.
They had some good backup there. Ager did her job. Bueller was there to offer a little bit of pressure, and then Catley on the back post covering her player.
I mean, Hoy was looking at an absolute for sure goal until Catley knocks it away.
That's great defending. That's a great job. They did exactly what they should do.
Results in a corner kick, but if that thing finds the back of the net, this is a whole different match. Still is, but Hoy denied. Beautiful ball. Let's see if Alex can outrace Zakia, and she can. Vero knocked away just a bit by Kwan, but Vero able to control.
That was another ball, an inch higher by Vero, and you know, the Portland Thorns are in.
Never miss a good deal at your local Northwest McDonald's. Download the MCD app today for exclusive deals delivered right on your smartphone. Get a free sandwich with any purchase just for downloading. Visit mcdapp.com for details. You know, we were mentioning how Hoy leads this club with the 4 goals, but she hasn't found the back of the net since the end of May. And that surprises me. She has been in dangerous position many, many times today. You could tell she's a finisher.
Definitely, and she's been very close too. And as we said, you know, sometimes it's those inches that, you know, is 6-1 or zeros.
Chicago came into this match, Janine, with 239 straight minutes of non-goal scoring soccer, and they have yet to find that magic today. So the drought continues. McDonald hustling. Karina's got to come way off the line. I wonder if she'll try to chip Vero. Nope. Sinclair. There's Heath. Knocked off Hemmings. She'll take it to the corner. Touch betrayed her there, but Long keeps it alive. Nice job by Alley. Good combining there. Hemmings again, and there's Alley. Hoy able to shoulder her away from the ball. Chicago still battling.
Well, to your point of Chicago not scoring, there's no rain here in Portland today, so maybe they'll suffer further drought.
Oh, very clever.
Thank you.
Catley has been very active today. Box to box. Sinclair, McDonald!
Again, she's getting in and she's making those runs. That's one of the things that she does so well. McDonald does not stop. She keeps working. She's getting there, and again, it's not that far off.
Oh. Jess at 6 love is a heck of a target. Chested down by Alex.
The ball, it finds her.
Here's Heath with the right foot.
I think the ball is getting caught underneath people a little bit, and that's why they're having a hard time not generating any power on it. We've seen it a couple of times from Heath and a couple of the other players.
Set pieces the difference today on corner kicks. Portland has been able to score twice. First, it was Jess McDonald with her 9th goal of the season, leading this club in goals scored. And then in the 39th minute, Sarah Huffman with her first goal of the year.
I've been so impressed with the composure on both of those goals. They really, in the box, to have that much sense of time and knowing what you had to do and the amount of time that you had to hit a quality shot is just great to see. Quality soccer.
Those goals set up nicely as Van Hallebeck gets her first assist of the season and Boquette her 3rd helper of the year.
Vero brings that little bit of spice, that international spice
You
that
bet.
we don't always see. She does that something a little bit differently than Tobin Heath does. A little bit more of a power American Tobin Heath, a little bit more of that kind of tricky, sly bit of soccer that from Vero.
Finesse?
Definitely.
Yes. It didn't take Vero long at all to understand how much this city loves this club. Her eyes looked like hubcaps the first time she played here. Just mesmerized by the crowd. And it's been a pretty good love affair since day one. And she basically has said, Janine, as Rebecca Moros is set to check in for Alex Morgan here in the 70th minute. Morgan looking a little gassed the last couple of runs. So Morris will come in, but just to finish that story, she says we've got to win, Vero, for this city. This city deserves a big win, and you know that goes a long way with this Thorn fan base.
Such great fans here in Portland. I've actually been to Spain and see some women's teams.
McDonald! You've been, all right, please continue your thought.
So I've seen some women's team games, and there's no support in Spain like there is here for women's soccer. And even anywhere in our country, we outdraw everybody else in the league. We outdraw a lot of the MLS teams. Great support, great fan base, and great knowledge. These people don't not only like the game, but they understand the game and they appreciate the game. And that's what's so great about being here and being a part of it.
You summed it up beautifully. Corner kick, Thorns, but let's do a sub first as Melissa Tancredi will check in for Jen Hoy. I thought Jen Hoy had a really good match. She brought a lot of energy up the pitch.
She did. She got in and she was dangerous. She just didn't quite finish. Tancredi's one to watch, though.
Nice job by Catley. Basically had to go 1v1 against you-know-who, Kolupny. Give the Thorns defense a chance to get back, and a quick throw in for the Thorns. 72nd minute, Janine, and Portland still, I'm not even going to say holding on to the 2-0 lead because they're still forcing the issue. They're looking for goal number 3.
They are. They're still playing. They haven't sat back. But Chicago is pressing. They really want to go forward.
Press, wanting to cut back. Oh boy, right out of the chutes, Tancredi gets a foot on that cross, but right at Angerer. Whew.
The Canadian international, she is great. She does a great job for Canada. She's a force to be reckoned with, as you just saw.
Missed some games having just graduated from chiropractic school, Tancredi.
Huh.
Kolupny leaving it.
Great step by Angerer.
Boy, I'll say, because press was coming down the pike, wasn't she?
She's ready. Nadine is there, ready to take on anything.
The left-footed Catley saving the day there, and here comes Heath. Moros switching fields. Huffman still with it. Jess leaving it. Moros wide.
That was very unselfish of McDonald to hit that ball back. She could have turned. She had a little bit of space. She was in the box. Could have been a little bit more dangerous. I think that type of ball, if they want to threaten, they need to have some players turn and do something that's really attacking.
Right, because I'm going to put you on the spot there. If you, in a perfect world, would you have her do just that? Turn and shoot.
I would. I would like to see it.
Me too.
I don't think women do it enough. I think sometimes it's too nice, and then you've got someone coming from far away that needs to get up top, and we need to have, McDonald needs to go for it. Sometimes they need to be a little more selfish.
Over 13,000 on hand today at Providence Park. McDonald hanging with it, looking for sink. Instead, Vero. There's Moros again on that right side. Whoa, flicked away and off the crossbar as Moros a lot more accurate with that one.
That was a little bit surprising. She was a little off balance. Ball was a little bit to the side of her. She got herself into position to hit a threatening, great shot that would have gone in without a great save.
LeBlanc climbing the ladder and getting a big mitt on that thing. It goes off the crossbar. Terrific shot by Moros. Results in another corner.
Great shot.
Ball bounced around. Vero will control. Alley caught going the wrong way. That's unlucky right there here in the 75th minute. And again, over 13,000 here to start the holiday. How great is that?
Happy 4th of July.
No fooling. Well done, Thorn fans. This is the most energized I've seen Allie in a few games. Allie Long.
I think they have it. They've taken that little jump. Maybe those meetings really got through to people, took it to heart, and they've decided, hey, this is what I want to do.
Great job by Kolupny. Man. The work rate. Good combination passing, leaving it open for Press. Tough play if she can get the angle. And there's goal number 1 for this game. Kristen Press does a terrific job. And Augerer is frustrated. Chicago right back in it.
Sometimes the Thorns get just a little bit stretched and aren't ready for that transition. Gets the ball over the top. Augerer comes out, stands up, tries to hold her up, but just can't do it, keep up with her. She's able to slot the ball home.
This is Press's 3rd game with Chicago, her first goal wearing the Red Star gear, and she gets her club right back into this match with the goal. 2-1, 77th minute, and here we go, Janine.
You can see why we said 2-0, most dangerous score in soccer.
Darn it.
Now,
yep,
it's basically a 1-0 game.
And it wouldn't occur to the Chicago club to sit down and pull up stakes and quit anyway. It's just not the way Rory Dames has his team centered, and this is a good club.
They're right there in the standings.
Moros leaves it.
It's a great idea, and that ball through.
Moros showing a lot of energy coming in for Alex Morgan.
She's another player, I know I've said it before, but she always works hard.
Press just sends Marshall flying. Wow.
A little bit of the luck of the bounce on that one, just a throw in. Hit the pin.
2-1, 78th minute, a lot of soccer left. Here's Kwan. Deep ball in the box, Augerer punches it away.
Good choice by Augerer under pressure.
Heath's service just a little too long and actually off for McDonald. bounce in the step of the Red Stars, and why not? We were waiting for Kristen Press to get into the mix. She did just that.
She was dangerous at Stanford. She's still dangerous.
Herman Trophy winner for Stanford back in 2010, member of the U.S. Women's National Team. Poked away, Catley though. Foul is going to go against Heath as she sends DiBernardo to the turf. Fly Alaska Airlines nonstop from Portland to over 30 cities, including new flights to Salt Lake City. Explore more, spend less, alaskaair.com. Kolupny, no chance on that one. And if you're Portland, you don't want to watch the clock. You just want to play hard and get that third goal and not just wait for the clock to run out.
You don't want to sit back, but there is a little bit of gamesmanship. They are winning 1-0, 2-1, so they're up by 1 goal. We just don't want to go forward for no reason.
Sure.
Keep possession. Nadine is just doing just that, making sure we get a little bit of a rest, and then when we have our numbers pushed up a little bit, give them the ball.
Portland has been effective when pushing numbers with their defenders coming up, that back line coming up. But now you got to really protect. And again, there's some space for Chicago to deal with. Hemmings. Ooh.
You can see, you're right, they have more numbers in the box. If you count the players in the Portland Thorns box right now, I mean, they're sending people. They realize they're close in this game and they're not going to just sit back and watch.
We saw the same thing when Western New York was in town back in May, where Portland had the lead, and then Western New York, basically the last 15 minutes, had 8-9 players in that 18, but could not catch Portland. Moros, nice job to Deke Hemmings.
Good, she got something out of it. That's exactly what she needs to do.
'81st minute. Chicago back in it with that goal by Press. 2-1. Heath and Vero.
She's looking for a little bit of an opportunity. Again, though, she's taking that time. She doesn't have to go forward. She doesn't have to do anything, and retains possession. That's huge.
Deep ball. Missed time there by Van Hallebeck, who came racing in on the angle.
She had a little bit of the turf monster on that one.
Both teams looking for late game substitutions when the break occurs. Switching fields. And again, you see everybody wearing white jerseys coming up into the offensive third. Press again. Oh my goodness, in the 82nd minute. Press with the brace, and we are tied at 2 apiece. What a finish by Kristen Press. The 5'9" Angerer, upper 90, couldn't make the save.
Couldn't quite get a couple steps in there, as we talked before about what she likes to do. She wasn't close enough to the ball, but that's a great shot by Kristen Press.
Wow.
She's such a quality player. I hate to say it, and I hate to see it, but you can't deny that she saw it, she hit the ball well, she picked the corner, and that's exactly where she put it.
It was a great finish by Press.
It's a gregreat goal.
As Keisha Morway checks in, Hemmings will come out. Menges is in for Portland. Heath will take a seat. Both Heath and Hemmings awfully good today for their respective clubs. How about Chicago battling back? They were trailing 2-0 in the 75th minute.
You said it a few times, Ann. They weren't stopping. They weren't sitting down. They weren't just letting the game go by them. They were still competing. They're still in this game, and they just showed you why you do that.
And my bad, Heath is still on the pitch. I thought I had seen her check out. So let's see what Portland has in the tank. Kristen Press. The Red Stars could not wait to get her. And she shows you why. Does Portland have some late match magic? And Heath is down. Oh boy, you could just hear the air go out of this stadium.
It'll be interesting to see who steps up for the Portland Thorns. Paul Riley kind of alluded to the fact that they sometimes need someone to do the hard work, to get in there and really mix it up with the players and call them on some stuff. So it'll see if there's anybody that fills that role today for the Thorns.
Just an awkward landing as Menges is set to come in, and that's the substitution that was announced, but I was a little overzealous in announcing that, as now Heath will come off to great applause. And Emily Menges will come on. How would you grade Heath's performance in game number 1 in her return with the Thorns?
As I said before, Heath always brings it. She's not someone you're going to look at and you're going to ask where she was. She was involved in this game, getting people in or trying to combine with people, trying to be threatening. She always adds a piece. You can always count on her, and it's great to see. That's why everybody loves to have her in Portland.
Right now, this crowd is stunned, Janine. A 2-0 Portland lead going into the 75th minute, gone. 2 quick goals by Kristen Press erasing the lead, and here she is again. DiBernardo. Got to have a purpose behind the pass. Johnston. Press and Catley.
"90 minutes is a long time." That last 10 has really proven a little bit hard for the Thorns. They have the things that they need to do. They just maybe need to tighten up a little bit in the defense, have had that player hold in a little bit more for them to add something. As we said, these players are talented. These Chicago Red Star players are talented.
Yeah.
You got to respect them.
Beautiful ball, knocked away though. Let's see if Long can get something going. Here in the 86th minute, Huffman wants to push.
It's a great ball.
Sure is. Vero into space. Vero dispossessed. Good job by Chicago's defense. Van Hallebeck able to get it to Catley, keeping it in the offensive third, the Thorns. Moros looking to center.
She got something.
Yep, corner kick for the Thorns here in the 87th minute. It'll be interesting to see how much stoppage time will be given to both clubs.
Again, a couple players go down, so there might be a few minutes left. But our 2 goals, the Portland Thorns goals, came on corner kicks. Let's see if we can get something here.
Vero. Flupney and Catley hustling. Thorns throw in. Double team. Kolupny hog-tied. It'll be a foul against Catley, and here comes Chicago, 88th minute. The difference between 3 points and 1 point, so huge at this stage of the game when you're fighting with this very club to climb over them into a situation where you qualify.
It's true. We needed that, and Portland needs to finish the game.
You bet.
To do everything they do, like I said before, for the 90 minutes. This last 10, 12 minutes have been a little bit of a lull in some respects. Let's see if Sink can come through and put her stamp on the game, because she definitely has the ability to do it.
You're reading my mind.
It would be great to see her step up and really put her foot down on that.
Late game magic. Let's see if either team can bring it. Vero, again, doubled almost every time. Leaves it for Long. Allie battles. Throw in Thorns. She had Vero, but instead Chicago dispossesses, and the Red Stars want to make something happen. Press into space. Kolupny collects.
They've got to win that ball, and they send 2 defenders out on one attacker. They've got to win that ball and not let that shot get off. It wasn't threatening. Nadine was there, and it was fine, but I'd like to see them, again, be more aggressive on defense as well.
Warm on that pitch. Both teams gassed, no doubt about it. Let's see if anybody can muster just that last little bit of energy. The long ball's not serving Portland well.
Come up a little bit short.
And here's Press, Van Hallebeck. Press already with the brace. Beautiful play to get past Van Hallebeck. Swept away. Boy, missed chance there for Chicago. Long gives it up.
Just a little step off each of those last passes, and we couldn't keep possession.
Bywater's dangerously close. Near that 6 on that last Chicago threat. Getting very close to stoppage time. At this point, Vero needs the ball. Somehow, some way, Portland's got to find Vero. And Chicago knows it. We're into 3 minutes of stoppage time. Is presented by Larog Brothers Jewelers, Portland's original engagement ring store. Three minutes.
It's more than enough time to get the winning goal.
More than enough as Sink goes down and she's hurting. 2 goals for the Thorns in the first half. 2 goals late in the second half by one Kristen Press. And that's where we stand at 2-2. Catley. Moros with some room. Leaves it for Vero. Right off the face of Morway. Folks wanted a handball. I thought it hit a face. It'll be interesting on the replay to see if that got a shoulder, elbow, or hand. We're a little over a minute into 3 minutes of stoppage time.
Nice to see Vero get back a little bit and try to find this ball and have her run the attack. Have her find Sinclair and McDonald. Allie Long's always a threat, but hasn't gotten in very much this game.
You got to think that Portland's got to go through Vero.
So she's so effective.
Quick throw in. Moros wide open. But you know Vero's going to be double teamed every time she touches the ball. There she is. Terrific job by Johnston to dispossess.
Chicago definitely has good defending. Done a good job with it this game.
I'm not saying that Chicago won't press this last minute, but you know they'll leave here very happy with a tie. McDonald taking too long.
I think McDonald saw Allie Long, but she was in an offside position, so she was trying to figure out what to do with the ball.
About 40 seconds left to go in stoppage time. Ellie Long! The flick header snagged by LeBlanc. With 30 seconds left to go in stoppage time. And that will do it. The final score, Portland 2, Chicago 2. A 2-0 lead for the Portland Thorns by the wayside. Janine, each club with a point, a disappointing result for the Thorns.
It was a disappointing result. They had good possession. They moved the ball around. They had threats on goal. I keep saying that, but they did. A couple inches here and there, and they would have had a couple more goals, but they scored too early. They were in the lead for most of the game, and Portland just couldn't hold it together, couldn't keep press out of the box, basically.
How much does this deflate you when the 3 points were there for the taking, the chance to move up in the standings, and you settle for the tie?
I tell you, I realize both sides of it. I know how good both teams are. I know the talent that they have out there. But even in that, you think this is the professional team that needs to finish the job. You have 2 goals up. You need to manage the game. You need to finish and manage the game.
So that's a wrap from Providence Park. The Thorns settling for a tie with Chicago 2-2 after leading 2-0 at halftime. The tie moving both clubs to identical records again, 6-6-3 now. Both clubs still fighting for those playoff spots. Same 2 clubs meet in Chicago Wednesday, July 9th, just days from now. We'll be back for the Thorns' next home game, July 13th, against the very dangerous club, FC Kansas City. For Janine Spera and our entire web stream crew, I'm Ann Schatz. Thank you so much for joining us today, and have a great holiday weekend, everybody.